Take a $100 bill out of your wallet and put it on the table in front of you. Look at it. What is it? Society has trained you to look at that piece of paper and see a Saturday night dinner at a decent restaurant. You see a new pair of sneakers, you see 2 tanks of gas, or a couple of rounds of drinks at the bar to help you forget about the work week. You look at $100 and you see an exchange rate for temporary relief. But what if I told you that you are looking at it completely wrong? What if I told you that $100 is not currency at all? It is a time machine. It is a highly compressed physical battery of human lifespan. And right now, you are trading the best years of your life for things you won't even remember buying by next Tuesday. Welcome to the mathematics of freedom. Today, we are not going to talk about retirement at age 65. We are not going to talk about becoming a billionaire or buying a yacht or flexing on the internet. We are going to talk about something much more urgent and much more aggressive. We are going to talk about paying your own ransom. Because right now, whether you realize it or not, you are a financial hostage. Your employer has bought your time, your energy, and your youth, and the only way to get it back is to buy it back. This is the exact mathematical blueprint of how investing just $100 a month isn't about building a portfolio. It is about buying back your life, hour by hour, day by day, and year by year. Let's start by destroying the biggest lie you have ever been told about money. The lie is that wealth is measured in dollars. It is not. Wealth is measured in time. When you go to work, you are participating in a very simple transaction. You take an hour of your irreplaceable life, an hour you could spend with your kids, an hour you could spend sleeping, an hour you could spend traveling, and you hand it to an employer. In exchange, they hand you $30. You literally bled an hour of your life to get that money. So when you walk into a store and buy a pair of headphones for $150, you didn't spend $150. You spent 5 hours of your actual life. You gave up 5 hours of freedom for a piece of plastic. When you start calculating the cost of your life in hours instead of dollars, the entire world changes. You stop seeing a car payment as $600 a month. You see it as 20 hours of your life, every single month locked in a cage, just to drive a piece of metal to the building where you are held captive. But here is where the math becomes incredibly dangerous and incredibly powerful. If spending money is spending time, then investing money is buying time from the future. Let's look at your $100. If you take that $100 and spend it this weekend, it is gone forever. You consumed the time. But if you take that $100 and you invest it into a broad market index fund like the S&P 500, you are doing something revolutionary. You are planting a seed of time that will grow without your physical labor. Historically, the stock market returns about 10% per year on average. When you invest $100, that money goes to work for you. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't take lunch breaks. It doesn't complain about the commute. It just silently goes into the global economy, works 24/7, and breeds more money. In year 1, it might only make you $10. $10 sounds like a joke. $10 is a fast food meal. And this is exactly the moment where 99% of people quit. They look at the $10 and they say, "This is pointless. I am restricting my lifestyle for $10 a year. I'm going to pull my money out and go buy a new jacket." They quit because they are looking at the math in dollars. I need you to look at the math in time. Think about what happens when you invest $100 every single month, $1,200 a year. Let's fast forward to year 5. You are 5 years in. You have sacrificed $100 a month. That is one dinner out. That is a couple of impulse buys on Amazon. You barely felt it leave your checking account. After 5 years, you have contributed $6,000. But because of compound interest, your account balance is now roughly $8,200. Most financial gurus will tell you that $8,000 is nothing. They will say it isn't enough to retire on, it isn't enough to buy a house, so keep grinding. But they are missing the profound psychological shift that just happened in your life. Let's convert that $8,200 into time. If your basic survival expenses, rent, food, utilities, cost you $3,000 a month, do you know what you just bought? You just bought almost 3 full months of absolute freedom. You just bought a 90-day severance package that nobody can ever take away from you. Imagine walking into your job tomorrow morning. Your boss is in a terrible mood. He demands you work the weekend. He talks down to you. He disrespects your boundaries. For the person with $0 in the bank, that moment is a tragedy. They have to swallow their pride, look at the floor and say, "Yes, sir," because if they get fired, they cannot pay rent in 2 weeks. They are a hostage. But you? You have 3 months of life fully funded and sitting in an account. You don't have to scream. You don't have to flip a desk. You just look at your boss, knowing that you have a 90-day runway. That knowledge changes your posture. It changes the tone of your voice. You start negotiating differently. You stop operating from a place of desperate survival, and you start operating from a place of quiet leverage. That $8,000 isn't a retirement fund. It is a psychological shield. It is the beginning of your FU money, and you bought it for $100 a month. But we are just getting started. Let's keep the time machine running. Let's fast forward to year 10. You are 30-something years old. You have been quietly, ruthlessly transferring that $100 every single month. Through market crashes, through elections, through pandemics. You ignored the noise. You have contributed $12,000 of your own money. But your account balance is now roughly $20,500. You have $8,500 of pure profit. Money that you never sweat for. Money that you never bled for. Let's translate this into the mathematics of freedom. In year 10, your portfolio is generating roughly $2,000 a year in average returns. Do you understand what just happened? You just built a digital clone of yourself. You put $100 a month into the machine. That is $1,200 a year. But the machine is now handing you back $2,000 a year. Your money is now working harder than you are. The returns are outpacing your contributions. If you make $25 an hour at your job, your portfolio just worked 80 hours for you this year. It just handed you 2 full weeks of paid vacation that your boss didn't approve. It just paid for your car insurance for the entire year. It just covered 2 months of your grocery bill. You have successfully detached your income from your physical labor. You are no longer trading time for money. You are trading money for time. And the beautiful, terrifying part about the people around you? They didn't do it. The guy sitting in the cubicle next to you, who bought the brand new truck with an $800 monthly payment to look successful, he is still operating on a 1-to-1 ratio. If he stops working, his life collapses in 14 days. He looks rich on the outside, but he is completely bankrupt on the inside. He is a high-earning slave. You look normal on the outside, but you are quietly buying the keys to your own cell. Let's push the math to the breaking point. Let's go to year 20. You have been doing this for 2 decades. It is no longer a habit. It is a fundamental part of your identity. You have contributed $24,000 out of your own pocket. At an average 10% return, your account is now sitting at roughly $76,000. You have $52,000 that grew entirely out of thin air. You put in 24, and time gave you 52. Let's look at your digital clone now. In year 20, your portfolio is generating about $7,600 a year in passive growth. Divide that by 12. Your portfolio is now generating over $600 every single month. You are only putting in $100, but your digital clone is putting in $600. Think about the sheer scale of the freedom you have just purchased. $600 a month covers your car payment and your car insurance. It completely removes transportation costs from your required labor. You no longer have to work to drive. Your past self bought that freedom for your present self. At this point, a massive psychological divergence happens. You begin to look at your career not as a necessity for survival, but as an option. If you hate your industry, you can take a lower paying job that you actually love because your portfolio is subsidizing your life. You can take a 6-month sabbatical to travel. You can start a business without the paralyzing fear of starving. The $100 a month didn't make you a billionaire. It did something much more valuable. It gave you autonomy. It gave you the ultimate luxury in the human experience, the ability to wake up on a Tuesday morning and ask yourself, what do I actually want to do today? Instead of what do I have to do today to survive? And this is where we have to address the elephant in the room. This is where the cynics, the skeptics, and the aggressive hustlers will interrupt. They will say 20 years? I don't want to wait 20 years. I want to be rich right now. I am going to buy options. I am going to day trade crypto. I am going to use leverage. $100 a month is for losers who want to be rich when they are old and in a wheelchair. This is the toxic trap of the modern financial world. The internet sells you the illusion of the shortcut. It shows you the lottery winners, but it hides the millions of people who lost everything trying to skip the line. When you try to speedrun wealth, you are not buying time. You are gambling with it. When you put your entire life savings into a highly volatile asset, hoping it goes to the moon and it crashes to zero, you didn't just lose money. You lost the 5 years of labor it took you to save that money. You effectively worked for free for 5 years. You went backward in time. The tortoise doesn't beat the hare because the tortoise is smarter. The tortoise beats the hare because the tortoise never goes backward. Consistency is the ultimate financial hack because it eliminates catastrophic risk. When you invest $100 a month into a broad market index, you are betting on the collective innovation of the entire human race. As long as humans wake up every day trying to build better technology, sell more products, and improve the world, your money will grow. You do not have to be a genius. You do not have to read financial charts. You just have to be incredibly ruthlessly patient. Let's look at the ultimate destination. Let's go to year 30. You are 50-something years old. You started this when you were young. You contributed $36,000 over 3 decades. Your account balance is now approximately $227,000. Your portfolio is now generating over $22,000 a year in growth. That is nearly $2,000 every single month. You're still only putting in your little $100 bill. But the machine is churning out $2,000 of freedom every 30 days. At this stage, you have achieved what physicists call escape velocity. You have broken the gravitational pull of the rat race. Your money is multiplying faster than you can spend it on basic survival. You can officially retire early. You can pay for your child's college tuition in cash. You can pay off your mortgage. And the most beautiful part of this entire 30-year journey? You didn't do it by winning the lottery. You didn't do it by inheriting a trust fund. You didn't do it by inventing the next Facebook. You did it by making a micro decision. You looked at a $100 bill, and instead of seeing a pair of shoes, you saw a piece of your future. And you decided that your future was worth more than a momentary hit of dopamine. There are 2 types of people watching this video right now. The first type will watch this, feel a brief surge of motivation, click off, go to Amazon, and buy something they don't need to impress people they don't like. They will wake up tomorrow, drive in traffic, sit at a desk, and continue to pay the ransom on their own life until they are 65 years old, praying that the government takes care of them. They will spend their entire lives wondering where the time went. The second type of person will realize that they are bleeding time. They will realize that every dollar they waste is a chain linking them to a desk. This person won't wait until January 1st. They won't wait until they get a raise. They will log into their bank account right now tonight, and they will set up an automatic transfer for $100 a month. They won't think about it. They will just build the machine. Time is going to pass anyway. 10 years from now, you will be 10 years older. That is a biological fact. The only variable you control is whether you will arrive at that decade as a hostage or as a free human being. You do not need a perfect strategy. You do not need a high income. You need to start. The ransom for your life is $100. Pay it. Keep paying it. Do not stop. And slowly, quietly, buy back your freedom. Your future self is begging you to make this transfer. Don't let them down.